Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Excuse me. Listen, if you're watching live, put a one in the comments. If you're going to be watching this on the live stream replay, put a two in the comments. It's been an interesting few days. Had a little bit of scare yesterday, had a medication mix up. Don't do that. It's scary and it scares the family. But I made it, pulled through. Here I am, still good. Anyway, let's talk about military spouses. And then we'll go into the upcoming webinar. And those of you that have signed up and registered for the free giveaway, that is happening live tomorrow. As soon as I get the link from my tech guy, excuse me. As soon as I get a link from my tech guys, I will be putting that up for everybody so they can log in live. There's going to be multiple different things given away. Ours is given away. Once that's done, if you're the lucky winner, DM me on Facebook. We will connect and I will get your winnings shipped out to you right away. And then I'm going to start another giveaway. So if the interest is there, and so far it has been, instead of one every 60 days or so, maybe we'll do one every 30 days. The interest is there. Who knows? Maybe we can do a couple a month. I don't know. But right now, it is what it is. Anyway, tomorrow is the live giveaway. So I will get the link up. Tune in. Have fun. I believe it's winstuff.com. But I will find out for sure. Now, military spouses. Your spouse is retiring, they're ETSing, whatever the case may be. You know, you put in the years, you've done everything. I'm one veteran that'll tell you, you got the hardest damn job in the military. I don't care what anybody says. I know a lot of special operators that'll tell you the same thing. But here's the funny thing. Even if you didn't have a job on base at AFES or the commissary or, you know, one of the little stores or, you know, had a little job in town or something while your spouse was being deployed and bouncing around the world, I know a ton of military spouses that were stay-at-home parents. I'm not going to say stay-at-home moms because there's a bunch of stay-at-home dads because this military member is a female. The military spouse is female. So you got military dads that stay at home. Hats off, both sides. You folks have got a hell of a battle to fight constantly. But here's the thing. I just had a military spouse ask me a question. She says, you know, she said, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 19 and a half years. I never held a civilian job since my husband was in the military. I didn't hold a job on base, off base, nothing. Just took care of the kids. She said, we had 6 of them. I said, you did have a job. You had a full-time job. I said, here's what I need you to do. I mean, do you have all his LESs? Do you have his records? Do you have his deployment orders? She says, oh, God, yes. She said, I've got it all in files. Well, there you go. There's one thing. You were an office assistant or an office manager. You filed everything. You took care of it. What was the longest he was deployed? She said 2 years. Okay. And he was deployed for 2 years. And who took care of the house? I did. Who took care of the paperwork? Who paid, who took care of the bills? I did. Who paid the bills? I did. Who took care of the children? I did. Who took care of the medical stuff with the children? I did. Guess what, Mom? Operations manager. You had a job. And a hard one at that. You had a very hard job. But that's okay. See, here's the thing. We can go down the list and you can create experience to match those different things that you did as a mom, as an office manager, believe it or not, as a business owner, as a bookkeeper, as a part-time accountant, 6 children, unlicensed health professional. That sounds crazy, but it's a thing. There's so many different ways. So what this spouse inspired me to do, I created the military resume writer. Fantastic. Well, guess what I got to do now after talking to her? Now I got to create and develop a military spouse resume writer. So stay tuned. Veterans AI Learning Center.com. Hyphenated all the words. Now I'll do stuff for the military spouses, and while I'm at it, might as well do something for the kids too. Some of these youngsters have gone base to base to base to base their whole life. Well, they've gained experience and knowledge that they can put in a resume when they're ready to go get their first job. And I really wish people would just start their own business. I really do. I wish everybody would start their own business. Find something you're extremely passionate about. Put it on paper. Start rattling off. I mean, think about it. In 1926, Henry Ford crunched the numbers. And boy, did he break the formula. Perfect work week, 40 hours. Work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. By the time Friday night gets there, you're exhausted. Saturday, you got all kinds of house chores to do, A, B, C, D, whatever. Sunday, which is what it was intended to do, it's resting up to get ready for Monday. Folks, Henry Ford locked that up. The perfect schedule to hold everybody hostage. The 40-hour work week. That's why I say I wish everybody would start their own business. Because you spend 40 hours a week working for 40 years to make somebody else rich, to retire on 30% of what you were making. Now, there's a term I want to use, but I'm not going to because I don't think I legally can. I will ask the creator and director of the movie if I can use that as an example. But you think about it. 40-hour work week for 40 years. And they call it a job. Now, yeah, there's those people out there making high six, mid six figures. And there's those that are making mid five figures, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Let me tell you something. The people making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year versus the people making $125,000 to $150,000 a year. Both of you are in the same boat. Believe me, they earn that money. However, they're also living high on that money. And you sit there and take and figure, okay, I'm making 50, 60,000. I'm doing okay. I'm paying my bills. I'm putting a house over, roof over the house. I'm putting food in the kids' bellies. And if I save up enough money, we might get to take a vacation every year or every other year. Go see Grandma and Grandpa. Believe me, I'd love to see my grandkids more than I do. But here's the thing. As I said, 40 hours a week for 40 years. They call it a job, which is just over broke. You make just enough to get by. They pay you just enough to get by. That's all by design. That's all by design. You can work for yourself. You can start your own company. It can be brick and mortar. It can be online. It doesn't matter. But at that point, you're working for you. You're working for your family. You're working for your personal retirement. You're working for your health. If you overwork and you're overworking for you and you get sick, that's your fault. If you're overworking and you get sick, you're working a job, partially that's their fault. You got your own business, you don't feel well. You're going to get out of bed. You're going to push as much as you can to get as much done as you can. But then if you're really feeling bad, okay, close it down. I'll do it tomorrow. Absolute perfect example of me yesterday. I have a project I'm working on. It's something major. I needed to dedicate a full 5 to 6 hours to it, nonstop, a full 5 to 6 hours. But I did something stupid. I crossed my medications up. And that didn't go over too well. My body did not like me for that. It scared my wife. It scared my doctors. We pulled it through. Okay. Now, had I been working for somebody else, oh, I'm not feeling well. Can I take the rest of the day off? Is it okay? Do I have enough time on the books? No. I work for myself. I screwed up. I couldn't accomplish what I needed to accomplish yesterday. I woke up this morning gladly. Well, guess what? Yesterday's project's still on the books. So I worked on it. And after this, I'll finish working on it. See, I have the freedom, the flexibility, and ability to do it. Military spouses. Seriously. Think about what really means something to you. Not just your children or your spouse. I know they mean a lot to you. But, maybe it is to children. Maybe you love baking cookies. Maybe you like to sew. Maybe you like online shopping. Allie, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that, everybody. Door blew open. I've got a PTSD dog that looked outside and you could see she was about to go. Had to prevent that. Oh yeah, military spouses. Think about something that you like, and I think the last thing I stated was online shopping, gardening, planting flowers, whatever. Believe it or not, there's no such thing as an oversaturated market on the internet. There's no such thing as a oversaturated market if you want to do a little live cooking show like I'm doing. Maybe you want to do a little gardening thing like I'm doing. Start it up. Now, you can do this. You can literally start it for nothing, as in absolutely free. And as your followers start to build, then you can create like a little website, and then you can move your videos or streams onto your website, start engaging and let everybody know that's where you're going. You'll start picking up followers there. Then you can have a subscription, $7, $9 a month, $19 a month, whatever. And you can make little, PDF tips. How to plant petunias. How to properly care for rose bushes. That's not easy, believe me. Mom's best peanut butter cookies. Dad's best oatmeal raisin cookies. Or oatmeal cranberry, whatever. Folks, you can do this. Now, there's a newsletter that went out today that can help with this. There's also a blog that I put out on veteransAIlearningcenter.com. Just go there, hit blog. There's a bunch of them. But today's was on military spouses. And again, as it's stated on the newsletter, as it's stated on the blog, if you have questions, reach out to us. info@AIlearningcenter.com. Here, I'll put it in the comments. There you go. It's in the comments. So if you need a question, info@AIlearningcenter.com. We'll be happy to help in any way we can. At this point in time, we're not charging a subscription fee. Because I've said on every one of my lives, I'm doing this for you. My team is doing this for you. This is a platform for veterans and their families, spouses, created by veterans, managed by veterans, and the continuing build is by veterans. My wife gives me input, and I'm happy to take it. Because here's the thing. You get out and you welcome to, you enter the civilian world, and I see it a lot, and I laugh. And I said, well, when you get confused, come talk to me. I know what the veterans world or the civilian world's all about. I was civilian before I went in the military. I've got family, I've taken leave. I've gone home for 30 days. I understand all this. Sure you do. Sure you do. And if you do, more power to you. If you know exactly what your MOS skills and training entitles you to on the civilian world, go for it. Military spouses, if you know everything you've done as a military spouse over the years, if you know the job that qualifies you for, go for it. Have at it. Have fun. But for the 98% that don't know it, don't understand it, get confused, get frustrated, that's why we're here. That is exactly why the Veterans AI Learning Center is here. It's to help you. So don't think that when you get out, or if you're already out and you're looking around and you're looking at jobs, I don't know, I'm not qualified for this, I'm not qualified for that, I'm not qualified for this, or you've put in applications for things that you absolutely know you're qualified for. However, civilian college boy, hiring manager, doesn't understand your military language. And yes, military spouses, you speak the same military language as your spouse. I know. So does my wife. It's an easy fix. It's a real easy fix. So again, welcome and thank you for attending. If you're watching live, put a 1 in the comments. If you're watching the replay, please put a 2 in the comments. If you have questions, reach out. info@AIlearningcenter.com. Go look at the blog. If you want the weekly newsletter, drop me your email either way. But military spouses, I cannot stress enough the amount of experience that you have that easily translates into the civilian world that you don't know. Or you do know and you don't know how to translate it. Don't let somebody else define your worth. You define who you are. You define what your value is. You decide what you're going to get paid. They don't want to pay what you can prove you're worth. Bye. You don't need that job. Remember, since 1926, it's been a prescription for captivity. So, I'm going to put that in there. Put that in there. If you want some t-shirts or things like that, go for it. It's all yours. Anyway, I'm going to cut it short here. We're done for today. I'll see you again next week. I'm going to start moving these lives to 4 p.m. 1600 instead of 1500. Been told that's not an optimal time for a lot of viewers. So we're going to move to 1600. Spread the word. If you know any veterans, if you know any veteran spouses, if you know any veteran family members 18 or above that would be interested in our little chats here, give them the link. Come on board. We'd love to have you. Anyway, for right now, William Tiemann, founder of Veterans AI Learning Center. Have a great week, everybody.